Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Jeff. Welcome back to the Weiss Life.
And today's video is gonna be a Q&A. We asked you guys some questions on Instagram and Twitter, and we're gonna try to answer as many as we can without making this video too long. There seems to be kind of a theme to a lot of these questions, so I think we're gonna focus on those. And that's gonna be kind of like the stories surrounding our oldest daughter, Gabrielle, and kind of like the situation when I was a teen mom and everything currently going on in our lives regarding that, because we actually don't address or talk about this kind of stuff. It doesn't like affect our day-to-day life anymore. So we don't really bring it up, right? But a lot of people have questions, and I might make an even more in-depth video with more information over on my new mom channel. So if you're not subscribed over there, I'll leave that link down in the description box below.
And don't forget to subscribe
to this channel and thumbs up this video because YouTube algorithm is weird and it likes it when you guys thumbs up. Don't mind our dog. We got a new puppy and she is what, 5 months old now?
Like 4 months old. So 1 second.
So I guess we'll just get started. I kind of highlighted a bunch of the questions. So let me copy them over to my notes. So I guess I'll start with kind of like a little bit of an intro story for everything. So when I had Gabrielle, I was 18 years old. I got pregnant when I was 17. Jeff is not her biological father. We got married when she was how old? Two and a half.
Yeah, a little older than 2.
She was a toddler. She was like a little bit younger than our baby now, Gemma, which is so crazy. Remember Gabrielle was so cute when she was a little baby. Yeah, I did get pregnant at 17, and the situation with that and her dad was that we had actually met a couple years prior to that. I was pretty young. I think I was like 14 when we met. We dated briefly, and then we started dating again when I was 17, and I got pregnant very like we were only dating for like a month or 2 at that point, and so it was really not expected. I actually had thought that I couldn't have kids, so I didn't even think that pregnancy was a possibility. So it was kind of it was pretty crazy. So I like I said, if you guys want a more detailed story, I can definitely do that over on my mom channel. I don't want to get into too much over here on the vlog, but it was pretty crazy. So I ended up moving out of my parents' house, and I had my own place, and I was going to school and working and pregnant, and it was very, very, very difficult. Her dad, throughout the pregnancy, it was varying levels of involvement. Sometimes he was there, sometimes he wasn't. We didn't really quite know what that was going on with that relationship. It was pretty rocky. We ended up deciding to get married when I was very pregnant. It was like a couple weeks before Gabrielle was born. And, that didn't last very long. So it was it's a very, very long, detailed story. So anyway, but that's just kind of the gist of it. So since Gabrielle was very little, when her dad and I split up officially, I was pretty much a single mom. So I was 18 and a single mom. And I met Jeff when, how old was I, 21?
Yep.
So I was just turned 21, I think. It was like the summer of my 21st birthday, and Jeff was 28, 27.
Something like that.
Something like that, because we're like 7 years apart. And then we ended up getting married the following year. So since Gabrielle's been about 2 years old, Jeff has been a part of her life, and he is also her dad. So people always ask us that all the time. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Like Gabrielle calls me dad, and I'm sure she calls her other dad too. I think it's just whatever's most comfortable for her as far as names go. It doesn't really matter, but she has 4 sisters here, so they all call me dad. It's probably just easier to call me dad when she's here, and I'm sure when she's with her dad, she calls him dad too. So it doesn't matter. It's just
and Jeff's, he's the one who taught her how to ride a bike, taught her how to read, changed all her diapers. I mean, we have potty training, all this stuff. Yeah. He's been super, super involved. So he's basically, in a way, it's almost like not unofficial adopted dad, right? Because well,
we just have her all the time. So I've raised her
pretty much. So that's another question that we get that I think I guess we could talk a little bit about. We don't talk about this a lot because it's kind of more about, it's Gabrielle, and it's her own thing, and her relationship with her dad. That's you know, a completely separate thing. So people ask us all the time, you know, does she see her dad? And the answer to that is yes, sometimes, a couple times a month, typically, although right now with the quarantine, that it's been a little bit different, obviously, because like have been at home. But yeah, typically a couple times a month, not overnight or anything, but like for, you know, during the day, she has been seeing him. So they do have a little bit of a relationship there. And I don't really feel like it's like our place to talk about too much about that. But I mean, that's just a question that we get all the time. So like sometimes when we're vlogging, people see like, oh, Gabrielle wasn't there in that video.
Yeah.
And so like, that's where if she's not with us, she's either like at a birthday party or a friend's house, or maybe she's visiting her dad for a couple hours or whatever. Like that's just like kind of the answer to that question, because I feel like anytime we upload a video and she's not in it, people always ask. Something else like I asked a bunch over on Instagram was, people were saying they'd never seen Gemma's room in the vlogs. So,
because we share a room with her. It's funny, you think like, oh, you're gonna have a kid, you make a nursery and get it all pretty, and then like the baby sleeps in your room for the first year because of if you're breastfeeding and changing diapers and all that. And I know there's a million ways. There's a million ways to do it, right? Like you can, oh, you have to keep him in the other room, you can keep him in your room, but we keep him in our room. Now she's potty training. That's really the only reason, is because she was pretty advanced and she was not even two yet and getting potty trained. And then now this weird thing happened. But anyway, we get up with her in the middle of the night to help her get to the potty and stuff. So
and she wakes up because she wants a blanket. She's too hot, she's too cold. She has to go potty. And so because she is so little, and the room that she would be going into potentially is like the furthest away from our room, we just feel more comfortable having her in with us so we can help her if we need in the middle of the night. But to clarify, we don't co-sleep. She's not like sleeping in our bed. She has like a little toddler bed in our room, and that's where she sleeps. It does throw me off though, because all the time she'll be like, I'll hear her talking to her sisters and she'll be like, I'll be right back, I'm going to my room. And I'm like, wait, you mean our room?
Hey, she says it's my room too.
And I'm like, no, I guess it is.
And
your
also,
room.
we've only lived in the house 2 years, right? So she's 2.5. So it's kind of her whole life, but for us it's new. So it's like, oh, she's not going to be familiar with where the stairs are and where everything is. But that's all she knows.
I'm terrified about that. That's my biggest
That's all
fear,
she knows.
Is if she slept in a room far away from us and had, you know, need to go potty in the night, or, you know, was thirsty, tried to come down. Like, I just worry with the stairs and not being able to hear her. And so that's kind of why. So it's just kind of personal to us. I know some people put their kids in separate rooms, like when they're little.
Yeah.
And it just isn't what we've done. So yeah, that's the answer to that. Some other questions that we have been getting, and we kind of get this a lot on like Instagram and stuff too. People ask us, you know, we live in California. California is very expensive. We have a big family. How does it work, you know, money-wise and budgeting and all that kind of stuff? And I really think I want to turn this into a series over on my mom channel where I talk a little bit more about this. But we do have a budget and we try to stick to it. And we try to, like, we review the budget how often? Like once every 2 weeks, once a month?
Yeah, often.
We have like budget meetings. Like, we're not doing like Dave Ramsey or anything, because there's like some things that I agree with him on and some things that I don't. But for us, we've always been really good at trying to like stay within a certain budget and live below our means. And actually this quarantine, I mean, kind of the silver lining, we were talking about it yesterday, is that it's really kind of put us back on track. Like, so we're not unnecessarily spending money. You know, we're not going to Starbucks every day anymore.
Yeah, saved a bunch of money by switching to quarantine.
So, but if you guys want to know more about that, I'll definitely consider doing a series on the other channel. Just let me know if that's something you want to watch. And then maybe we'll answer, one more question here?
Sure.
Oh, this is so random, but people always ask. And it's interesting when they meet us in person. People are asking how tall we are.
7'4".
But we are not little
That's
people
so
either. Jeff is like, what, 6'1", 6'2"?
Yeah, I'm 6'1".
And I'm 5'9", maybe 5'9.5". Like, I'm really tall. Our girls are tall. Gabrielle's like 5'7". Graceland's like 5'6", 5'5". They're growing though. They're gonna be taller than me. And it's so funny because some of the other families, like when we go to YouTube events and stuff, like are like little. Like they're like, and we come in, we're like this family of giants.
No, that's not.
Like if I wear heels, I'm like over 6 feet tall.
Okay.
So anyway, that's just a random factoid. We are a tall family. Jeff and I are actually the shortest siblings in our families. my brothers and sister are significantly taller than me, and you're like dad and your
And
brothers
my dad, my two brothers are both
they're
taller.
way taller than him. So we're the
They're
babies.
not way taller. I'm no runt.
Your dad's like 6'4". You
What?
are the runts. We're both the runts, if that means it. So we're the runts, and we're still tall.
Cool. So on that note,
kind of random Q&A, but I hope we answered some of your questions. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Bye guys.